Oiwa is one of the most famous Japanese ghost stories ever written. In Japan, it is known as Yotsuya Kaidan and tells the story of a woman who is poisoned by her unfaithful husband. Her disfigured ghost returns from the dead to exact revenge. Oiwa was a beautiful young woman who lived in a small town in Japan. Her boyfriend's name was Lemon, and although he didn't have much money, Oiwa loved him very much. She was overjoyed when her childhood sweetheart asked her to marry him. After the wedding, they moved in together, and the happy couple were soon expecting a baby. Oiwa didn't care that Lemon was poor, but as time went on, he became angry and depressed about his lack of prospects. Lemon soon grew to hate his happy young wife, and started an affair with a rich young woman named Oume. He romanced her for months, and eventually, she fell in love with him, despite his poverty and the fact that he was already married. One day, Oume's father came to see Lemon. He told Lemon what a shame it was that he was already married, because his daughter loved him very much. The father went on to tell him all the ways that he could ensure his future son-in-law's wealth and success. Lemon listened intently. Lemon spent a great deal of time thinking about what Oume's father had told him. An evil plot began to form in his mind. He decided that the only way he could marry Oume was to, somehow, get rid of Oiwa and her unborn child. He thought that the easiest way to do this was to secretly poison Oiwa and make it look like she had died of natural causes. Poor Oiwa was totally ignorant of her husband's murderous plans. Blissfully unaware of the fate that was about to befall her, she continued to happily prepare for the birth of their baby. One evening, when Oiwa and Lemon were sitting down to eat dinner, she noticed her husband was strangely quiet and nervous. She encouraged him to eat his dinner, but he would not touch his food. He yelled at Oiwa and told her to stop fretting and eat her own meal. She needed to be strong for the baby, he said. Oiwa finally gave up trying to tempt Lemon's appetite and started to eat the dinner. It wasn't long before she felt very sick. Lemon watched her coldly as the poison did its work, not offering her any help or comfort. But Oiwa did not die right away. Her beautiful face became disfigured from the poison first. Then, she slipped into unconsciousness. Lemon was too much of a coward to finish the job he started, so he put Oiwa's lifeless body in bed. Eventually, Oiwa awoke from her coma, remembering nothing of the poisoning. She had lost her baby, and her face was ugly and terrible, but Oiwa lived. Lemon was desperate. He played the part of the concerned husband, but he was looking for any way possible to rid himself of his wife. One evening, he took Oiwa for a long walk. They made their way to a cliff, and Lemon looked around to see if anybody was nearby. No one was in sight. Lemon pushed Oiwa off the ledge. Her broken body was recovered, and Lemon gave her the best funeral he could afford, spending all of his money on a great show of marital devotion. Of course, Lemon knew his money troubles were only temporary now that Oiwa was gone. Thinking his worries were over, Lemon planned his wedding to Oume. The night before the marriage was to take place, Lemon noticed his bedside lamp was dimming. He looked at it curiously, as it seemed to be changing. The disfigured face of Oiwa suddenly replaced the lamp, growing larger and larger in the room. "Betrayal!" it hissed. Lemon grabbed a stick and swung at the face, but Oiwa disappeared, and the lamp smashed and fell to the floor. Lemon thought he heard the faint laughter of a woman from outside. Shaken, Lemon convinced himself that the vision was simply the result of drinking too much alcohol earlier in the evening, and went to bed. The next day, Lemon had forgotten all about the spectre from the night before. He and Oume were wed. When he lifted her veil, however, her beautiful young face was replaced with Oiwa's horrible visage. "Betrayal!" she hissed. The horrified Lemon drew his sword and swung it at the ghostly apparition, cutting Oiwa's head off. The severed head rolled down the aisle of the church, but when it came to a stop, it was Aume's face, and not Oiwa's. He heard the faint sound of laughter again. Lemon ran to his tiny house, looking for a place to hide. There was a pounding at the door, and Aume's grandfather demanded that he open it. When Lemon did so, Oiwa was standing there. "Betrayal!" she hissed. Once again, Lemon tried to decapitate her, but when his sword finished its work, it was Aume's grandfather that lay dead. Lemon ran for the cliffs, Oiwa's laughter following him. He stopped at the edge and looked down, perhaps changing his mind. It didn't matter. Passerbys reported seeing a woman push Lemon off the cliff before she jumped after him, laughing all the way down.